As Jamaicans in the diaspora continue to hear news about crime, stories about healthcare, and other negative stories about Jamaica, they become more discouraged of the prospects of returning and being at risk for some of the things that they hear. However, it is worth them realizing that there are around 250,000 returning residents, Rapats and Expats living on the island, and that there are several returning residents communities dotted across the country, from Morant Point to Negril and from Ocherios to Treasure Beach. It is important that we're educating Jamaicans in the diaspora about how to plan and execute on their desired return, whilst reducing every likelihood of risk on the island. Let's have the discussion as to why this is so important.
The Jam Fam family. Jam fam, come hang with me, yeah.
Hello, Wagwan, pick up yourself, whether you're there yard or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about Jamaicans in the diaspora retiring in the Caribbean in safety and retiring in style and wellness. Elderly Jamaicans or Caribbean people in the UK, in Canada, or in the United States, like all older adults, face significant challenges during cold weather. However, some specific factors can exacerbate these challenges for this demographic, and we're going to look at some of those. The first one is increased vulnerability to cold, and we're going to look at three specific things here. So firstly, it's the physiological changes. As people age, their bodies become less able to regulate their temperature, increasing the risk of chronic or extreme cold impacting their health. This can lead to higher risk of heart attacks, strokes, and respiratory illnesses. The next is pre-existing health conditions. Many older people, including people who are highly melanated or people of Afro descent, may have long-term health conditions. Example, respiratory issues, cardiovascular diseases, arthritis, sickle cell anemia, among others, that can be worsened by cold conditions. And also specific physiological responses. Research suggests that individuals of African descent may experience a more intense and protracted vasoconstriction, which is narrowing of blood vessels in response to cold exposure, which can make them more susceptible to things like chill blanches or non-freezing cold injury, NFCI. Now, the second category that we're going to be looking at is socio-economic factors and housing. Now, the first thing is fuel poverty. A significant concern for many older people in the UK, for example, is the ability to afford the heating of their houses, especially with the ongoing cost of living crisis that the world is currently experiencing. And fuel poverty can lead to difficult choices between whether to heat their houses or being able to afford other essential things like food, and this impact their overall health and well-being. Deprived and vulnerable households, including some within the British Caribbean community, may be more likely to live in energy inefficient housing. And the next aspect in this category is the poor housing quality. Living in poorly insulated or cold houses can directly impact health. It increases the risk of respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, mental health issues, and falls due to reduced dexterity. And lastly in this category is the social isolation. Winter can be an isolating time for older adults, and for some, cultural or community ties may be weakened further, increasing their feelings of loneliness. Now the question is, can their support be found in returning home? Although there are several organizations in these countries that offer support and advice to the elderly during winter, which can be beneficial for elderly Jamaicans and Caribbean individuals from their local community organizations, charities with an emphasis on the elderly and energy-saving entities. The quality of life and longevity for many of these individuals could be improved in warmer countries. They could also afford to live better on less, providing they plan out their retirement and plan out their return effectively so that they can execute and thrive around others with similar stories. It is crucial that elderly in the diaspora are given the assistance required to learn about the Jamaican or Caribbean construct and be clear about effectively moving back to their home countries successfully to enjoy their retirement years, should this be their desire. And hopefully, if you are one of those people who are looking forward to coming back and you feel as though you don't think that you can do so successfully and safely, please let us know in the comment section below. If you're one of those people who have so far returned and you believe that when you were first thinking about it, you or other people around you felt like you wouldn't be able to do so, and you believe that you're doing well now that you've returned, please let us know in the comment section below. We would love to hear from you. So, Jam Fam Tribe, I am going to go and ask Eliona to solve one problem. Come find one. I think it's something that she's going to like. So, this is it. Yeah. So I want her to be able to spot the differences that she can come up with and see what she's going to find out. Because she need to can tell me why the difference them with it. And I'm going to go find out from it. So see what she going to do with this brain teaser when we go. Eliona. I'm coming in because your door was open. So I've got a puzzle for you to do. Do you think you can have a look at it and try it? Okay then. Here it is. So if you're trying to figure it out, there it is, and I'm giving it to her, and I'm going to see how long she takes to find it. I already found them.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, I don't think they're obvious.
Look. The bubbles.
What about the bubble?
The cans overflowing to have different bubbles. But
It's okay, so that one's overflowing and the top one isn't? Mm-hmm.
On the watch here.
Okay, so you said the overflow. What else?
The shape of it.
What's wrong? What's wrong with
This is
this?
circular and this is like a drip.
Okay.
Here, there's a dot in where the hands join, and there's one up here. And also, it's two different kinds.
What does that mean? Is there a dot on the bottom one? Okay, and not the top? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't spot that difference.
And the hands are in two different
Or is that like where the hands meet in the center? It's obvious on the bottom one and not the top? Oh, I didn't see that difference. Okay, and what was the other? There was another difference I saw.
Times.
What do you mean by that?
The hands are in two different positions.
Oh, yeah. So that's the one that I saw where the hour hand is where the minute hand is and vice versa on it and them.
Here you go.
You're gonna find one of these time and it's gonna stop you. Like guys, we do this all the time, you know?
That's unlikely.
We'll see about it. All the time, me carry the puzzle them and gear and me want her to just get stuck on one, but me I go find one day where she I go stuck on. You think so? You see those eyes, the gig really come with it then. Anyways, I'm going to go, and if I find any more, I'll come and show you, and then we can get on with our other things that we have planned for later.
Okay.
All right then. So later.
Bye.
Thank you. My neighbor's goats are walking by. Oh gosh, they're loose. So they're walking by. I heard them making noise over the other side over there, but then I saw them coming up. So yeah, they're making their way home. From the other day, I've been looking at the ackee tree and seeing open ackees. Can't do anything about them because they're so high up I can't reach them, and so they keep falling off when they get ripe enough. They keep falling off, so I have quite a bit of them falling around the place. And if you can see up in the top of the tree up there, you'll see that some of them are doing quite well. They're open, but I can't get up there, and so they just have to remain there. And unless I get somebody to help me pick them. But otherwise, I was able to come out today, and just on these lower limbs down here, there were a few, and so I was able to pick those. And this is my collection. There's about a dozen of them here, and I'm going to go and see how I can use those and make myself some ackee and think about what I'll have with it. Yeah. I'm right here underneath the ackee tree. Feeling accomplished. I just saw a couple and I'm like, those are in my reach, so let me see if I can get enough. I still see a couple more where I could probably reach if I try to push something up and just be able to get a group together. So I'm going to try and see if I can get those, but I'm going to show you something that I found whilst I was out here looking around and searching to see any low-hanging open ones. Okay, what am I looking up at? Well, I'm going to show you. Right there. Can you see? A little bird nest that I found right in the little crevice of the tree. Wow. Nature is being advantageous. They are always trying to figure out how do they solve the problems that they're faced with and make the most of the resources that they have around them to get the problem solved. Even when human beings are constantly encroaching on their space, treating them like they're non-entities of no value, these creatures are still figuring out how to live and not just survive. Look at that. They've created a loveliness up there. A loveliness so that they can create a better space for the generations to come after them. It's so admirable, some of the things we can learn from nature. Yeah, some high ranking ones that I will not be able to get. And I see one right here opened up. Not sure if I'll be able to reach it with the stick that I have, but if I can, then I'll try and get it. I'm always amazed when I see how plants, animals are resilient and how they push against the odds that are around them to survive. They know that they can make a difference to some of the experiences that they're having. This ackee tree, for example, is still standing. Just want to show you the root of it. So that's the root of it. The branches you see around it are branches that broke off from it or that get cut off, and we just stack them underneath it. But if you look around, you will see how it looks. Now, it's like that because one of the massive hurricanes gone, it blew down and toppled over. And since then, it has laid there and put up one whole heap of different branches. Now, to the point where it's put up so many different branches, you can see them all around. There's 1, 2, this one here is split into several, and there's 3, 4, 5, plus the one into several branches. To the point now where it's so massive that I actually need to get it cut back and contained. So even though those odds face it, it still managed to find a way. And look at how fruited it is. Look at how fruited it is. And you know it's going to give more fruit later on. This side over here is loaded, and this side up here and the high end here is loaded. You know, it's going to keep giving more fruit because it's going to thrive in spite of the challenges. And remember, just the other day get one ex-hurricane with batter it all about. So you can still see some of the branches and that were cracked but didn't fall, and they're dry. And we have some that we had to cut off before. Sometimes we have to look at nature and see how, in spite of the odds that we're facing, in spite of the challenges, how we can actually fight back and do great things. That's the amount of ackee I got. So it's enough for me to use and make myself a meal. I was just about to go sit down and eat my food when I remember that we did the ackee picking together, and I did not show you the journey and the process, so I must now show you what it is that I'm going to be eating for my dinner. And there you have it. So I've got my ackee, some of my ackee. I made some dumplings with it and some vegetables, some okra, carrot, and string beans. I've got an avocado over there, but unfortunately it's not ready to join this meal, but it will be in another day or two. So bon appetit. I was talking to somebody recently, and we were looking at a video comment, and on a video that we both watched, and somebody commented on there to say something about people not wanting to go, people in the diaspora don't want to come back to Jamaica because they don't want to come down here and dead for hungry. And I'm thinking, which part of Jamaica people there are dead for hungry? But that's my experience and hers. We probably don't know of other people's circumstance. It's not our experience. But when I think about it, if you live anywhere in one rural area, you can have ackee, you have callaloo, you have Spanish needle, you have banana, you have yam. People will share with you. You can turn your hand and make fashion. You don't have to buy every single thing. People share with people. And I'm thinking, the only place you're going to find where people in a Jamaica can literally go dead for hungry is actually in communities where they don't have access to these provisions. Because food, if people really think about the different options out there of food to eat, and you come back from wherever you come from in the diaspora and come to Jamaica, why would you die for hunger? Why would they? Even your enemy would give you stuff. Like, honestly, if you live in a rural, well, what Jamaica defines as rural is anywhere that is not within the Kingston area. And if you live out, even people living in St. Andrew have farms and have trees with fruit trees and all these sort of stuff that they can eat from. And sometimes I wonder, what were people's experience when they were in Jamaica before they left? Because some people are talking to those experiences when they say stuff. And also the experience that they're hearing about from people who are in Jamaica. What are they actually hearing? Because people can survive in Jamaica. There are vegetarians in Jamaica who probably don't even need to go to the supermarket. They just need to go to the farmer's market at the most, and they can feed themselves and their family. And so even when you think about it from that angle, you see that there are lots of opportunities, from fruit trees to all of the other different things that we have in our fruit forests that we have here. It's difficult to see why it is that people would feel that coming back to Jamaica is going to mean that they're going to come and dead for hungry. Like, where exactly are we going? There's no famine in Jamaica. There's no famine. So sometimes I'm not quite sure what it is that people are thinking when they are saying stuff. I mean, if you have an eclectic taste bud and there are certain things that you're not going to want to eat, then you might find it difficult to source the things that you want. And if you do source them and they're imported things, then they're going to be costly. And so it's about adapting your taste buds to the things that are grown locally, which is the same thing we do when we migrate. We adapt our taste buds to the things that are there so that we can cope with finding healthy choices and then eating those. And it would just be pretty much the same thing here on the island that we would need to do. We mustn't say them horrible stuff. They don't go with country, because whilst it might be somebody's experience, we're generalizing it. Like, it's not fair.
The Jam Fam family. where I living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. The Jam Fam family. Where I living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me.
We know that people are retiring and returning to Jamaica and doing well with it, and we believe that many others, should they consider the strategies that they're taking to plan out a return, would also be able to do the same. So thank you once more for staying with us here on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. Bye for now. Do take care, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.